Hi
Hi
guys,
guys,
welcome
welcome.
to, welcome to Traveling Teacher Talk.
Hi guys, and today's video you're going to discover 8 things that make China different from the rest of the world and contribute to their success.
So some of them are fearlessness, health, and being judged.
Also business and social interactions.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned and check it out. Okay guys, so what's this all about?
Well, it's about the time that we spend here and the conversations that we've had with our colleagues
Yeah.
and our Chinese friends predominantly about things that are different, what we've experienced and also what they've actually expressed to us.
Okay, so things that we've noticed that are different here from the West.
Absolutely. So the first one is fearlessness, and I know you want to have a chat about that.
Okay, what we mean by fearlessness is that it seems in so many situations that Chinese people are just fearless. Fearless in interactions like coming up and talking to people or talking to us or pushing their kids to talk to us or taking opportunities, be they business opportunities or even relationship opportunities. These are people that we've talked to and friends that we've had, and these experiences that they've had, we've noticed, wow, these guys are fearless. And even noticing when we travel this country and when we are with Chinese people in other countries, they're fearless in giving things a go. We thought as Australians we were fearless in giving things a go. But they are, really.
Yeah, it seems to me the more difficult a task is, the more
Motivation.
empowered and motivated they are to try it.
Yeah.
I mean, what rings in my mind is one time we were at a social function, team building, and there was this planks across the water, and it was quite difficult.
Man,
and
I
people were
remember.
falling off it right, left, and center. And one of these teachers, she was so strong and powerful, and she has had this brilliant mindset. And she said, "I'm doing it." And she just went at it. She just went, "I'm doing this." And she didn't stop. She just went right across it. It was absolutely brilliant. And
She was one of the teachers.
yeah, and she got to the other side, and there was kind of no kind of like big rah, rah, rah. Like we were clapping
No
crazily.
congratulations. We go, whoa, that was amazing. Because essentially it was chains hanging down from poles.
Yeah.
And little wooden platforms
planks,
that you
yeah.
had to go across the water that were slightly in the water. And then the principal tried, and she had to go. Like, no fear. And not just in that, but really in opportunities. Like, we've had business opportunities here, and our Chinese colleagues have said, yeah, let's give it a go. Let's just try it. Let's just see if it works. We can put all this together and see what happens. So fearless.
They are, absolutely. And it's a really strong quality.
Yeah. So the idea that Chinese people are fearless in chasing opportunities is less about thrill seeking and actually more about deep rooted cultural drive. It comes more from the values like being able to eat bitterness and endure hard work, and a powerful desire to help your family get ahead, isn't it?
So really, it's not about the lack of fear, is it? It's more about a strong sense of duty and the focus on long-term goals.
Correct.
In actual fact,
Yeah.
right? That's why you see people pushing themselves hard, like Kelly did, in schools, in starting businesses, in moving abroad for a better shot at life. They're motivated by making their family proud and building a strong and secure future. And that gives them the courage to take on big challenges and bounce back easily from setbacks.
That's absolutely right. And that's essentially the core of what we've discovered about Chinese people appearing to be fearless. They kind of are in that way, but it's a very strong motivation and drive having a successful family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, cool. So what's the next element?
The next one I think what makes China different is the Chinese family. I mean, they're the core structure.
Look, I totally agree, especially in the area that we were in, when we worked in China, we were in early education and in education for many years, and you got an opportunity to see how families related, but also our friends and everything. So one of the most amazing things I found was that they were so connected. Like I remember one example when we were in a bus and I was talking to my TA, and I said, well, why are you doing this job? And he said, I'm putting my brother through university. What's happened to the rest of your family? He said, no, it's my responsibility. And me as the oldest boy in the family, I'm helping to ensure that the rest of the family is supported and able to go and do the things that they want to do. You know, like get a good education, go through university, stuff like this. And I was blown away. And I thought that was like a singular example, but over the years, it's absolutely consistent. Family is massive here. The perception here and how it works is quite different. Family isn't just a family unit, it's a community. And I think that's the thing. Everybody feels connected. Everybody's kind of got the same philosophy.
That's true.
It seems so based on philosophy. And there's been thousands and thousands of years of this philosophy of family structure. And you finding success not individually necessarily. You can, of course, and you do. You put that success into the family pot. not just into your own.
Each kid's success and experiences build the family structure
that's
to
right.
come so much stronger. So I can understand why the country works as it does.
Family is amazing here, and the depth of the connection to family here, you will never fathom. And plus, Chinese people welcome you into their family. It's kind of like you can be part of our success too, and your success can be part of our success. It's all a massively positive thing, isn't it?
I mean, we've had so many people open their homes to us. It is an amazing culture to experience, especially when you kind of look back and think about the interactions that you've had and you've seen. Like one example I remember quite strongly is just every taxi ride or Didi ride that we've got into, if we've been with a colleague, Chinese colleague, the conversation that they have with the driver is like they're, long lost neighbors from way back. And that, to me, I thought this person, wow, she's the person that I'm speaking about. I thought must be a really sociable little butterfly, but in actual fact, she was like that with everybody that we spoke to and everybody that we came in contact with.
It does make a connectedness. It's like there isn't a separation between you and the rest of the world, or you and society, you and the community, you and other people. I think it's that connectedness that makes everybody move as one and down the same success and a positive pathway. Because this was such a deep subject and it seemed to relate to so many things, we asked a bunch of our Chinese colleagues to send us a message or write something for us that encompassed their idea of family. If you'll allow us, we'll read it to you, okay? This was from Kelly, right? She said, the idea that family is the foundation for the future really hits the nail on the head in Chinese culture. This isn't just a nice saying, it's a core value that goes way back, influenced by old teachings about respecting your parents and putting the family first.
She went on to say what that looks like in real life is that families often work together as a team across generations, which we've seen as well.
Big
Parents
families.
and grandparents might make big sacrifices to pay for their children's education. For example, that child's success is seen as a success for the whole family, not just for the individual. It's not just about one person doing well, it's about making sure the entire family line is respected, stable, and prosperous for years to come. So that's that
was the best one.
It was really good, and she really did
head.
encompass everything that we've seen and things that we've just spoken about.
So, Do, what's the next one?
Well, the next one actually intrigues me, and it has intrigued me from the beginning.
Me too.
It's emotions in public. When I first arrived in China, I always thought that couples seemed always so cold to each other, but yet they displayed their attachment or their emotions in really different ways to what we would do. The guys would often carry the girl's handbag and things like that, which when I first saw it, I thought, wow, that's kind of nice, but it's kind of strange according to what I've known.
When you come to China, you'll notice that, very, very happy people, right? Very, very happy. And so that is expressing their emotions. But generally speaking, there's very little road rage. There's if there's hassle with the bikes or anything like that, you don't see arguments or fights or anything breaking out, anything like that, do you?
No.
You don't hear of any arguments around the place. People are very calm. It's that kind of level. Like coming from Australia, you're used to the odd arguments here and there and things flaring up now and then. But here, we just don't see it. We've never really seen it.
I guess too, another big one is when you're standing in line, say in a bank or at immigration or anywhere like that, you could be kind of talking to the bank person or the immigration person, and someone just casually comes up beside you and starts speaking, and you don't get hassled with that. Initially, I did find it a little bit off-putting, but that's just the way it is. That's what they do. People are just so accepting of the other person just coming up and asking a particular question, and the customer service person will answer them. I just think that's quite amazing as well.
You come here, the people are super friendly, don't get us wrong. Like you're walking down the street and you can have a really stony-faced person coming towards you, but as soon as you crack a smile, it's the biggest smile back, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And more often than not, a chat follows. As soon as you make contact, it's all extremely, extremely friendly.
My mum, when we first came to China, my mum always used to say, they're very cold people. They're very standoffish. They're very this. With respect to my mum, she was in her 80s at the time, and it's like, no, mum, they're actually really cool.
I would compare it to Australia, as in Australia, in public, you can be very flamboyant, you can be very outrageous and loud, and you can express yourself in so many different ways publicly, and people want to, and they do, in clothes and in voice and in manner. But here it's just calm. You don't get that kind of raucous expression. What goes on at home? Who knows? But out in public, it doesn't seem to happen. Hey, so when you come here, don't be put off. Calm people everywhere. It's really nice, but there is a good reason.
Yeah, don't lose your cool, in other words. So what we found is basically people tend to put the group's comfort ahead of their own individual ideas and expressions, don't you think?
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Like
Yeah.
they don't kind of make a scene. They don't criticize someone openly, and there's no PDAs, public displays of affection, that could make others uncomfortable. I guess it's kind of like a loss of face for all involved.
That's right. It's causing embarrassment for your family, right?
But we have observed and we have spoken with friends. It's not about hiding their true emotions. It's about knowing the right time and the right place to express them. So it's a way of showing respect.
So, Di, one of the other areas that we've noticed here is what you would call duty. You've mentioned to me a number of times that you've been impressed by how people take responsibility.
Yeah, it's amazing. Having worked in a couple of kindergartens across China, the work ethic is second to none. What I mean by that is that the teachers take so much responsibility for their job and the school. They morph into the brand of the school. A lot of teachers have said to me over the time, such and such as mum was messaging me at 11 o'clock last night or at 1 a.m. And it's not said as a complaint. It's said as they were messaging me because they needed to understand this particular thing. And she said, so I'm a little bit tired today, or we may need to do this with this child today because mum has mentioned that. Now, I've been in early years education for over 35 years. I can tell you that I can count the times on my hand that I've been contacted outside work. And they seem so happy just to show up and be the right person for the job. What are your thoughts on the matter?
We've just noticed across the board, from the staff in the railway station, on the trains, staff in Hero Tea here, and just people generally at their job. Their customer service has been unbelievable. Just the way that they treat their jobs, just the way that they're attending to people. I've not met somebody who's been pissed off and kind of, oh, yeah, what do you want? Or anything like this, Not met anybody like that. I'm sure there is. There must be, right? Yeah, look, it is true that Chinese culture really values a strong work ethic and deep respect for family and career. And that seems obvious in so many ways, in so many examples that we've seen, I mean. But this isn't about being self-centered or individualistic. That's what we've got from our friends, right?
Yeah.
It's actually quite the opposite. The drive to work hard and to succeed in school or in your job usually comes from a sense of duty to your family, not just to yourself.
True.
So again, it comes down to that family success. And they really take that super important.
It's not individualistic. It seems to be, it's not a case of look at what I've achieved or what I've accomplished. Let's look at what we have accomplished. The pride and respect are directed outward towards your family and the community, which I think is a really nice aspect. It shows that they have goals that are tied to something bigger than just their own success, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the biggest things that we've noticed here. I mean, and I think that's what makes it such a strong society. It makes it a really strong culture. Yeah. And it makes a very consistent culture because everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's trying to represent their family in the most positive and successful light. That's one of the areas that we feel that China is quite different, that it has that real strength. Yeah. That family, again, is the foundation.
And as I mentioned before, it's a ripple effect. It's not individualism, it's collectivism. And it's not done in a bad way. It's like, okay, well, this is me and this is what I'm contributing to my family and my family can move forward, my community. And as we said before, the ripple effect then goes out towards pride in their province, pride in their food that they have, pride in their culture, pride in their history, and then pride in their country.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So another one of the major key elements that I think that makes China so different is in business, the business etiquette.
Oh, yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. They have a whole process. They have a whole foundation for conducting business. It's amazing. I mean, once you learn it and you understand it, then conducting business is just a straightforward process, right?
It is, yeah.
Conducting business here, I think, as you said, it is a major thing that makes China different to many other countries in the world, is that it has a real purpose.
Yeah, it's not about a quick deal.
No, that's right. No,
it's about building a relationship.
Yeah, it's longevity. Think of it again. We're coming back to the family again. We're coming back to the family, coming back to success. Business success is founded on that. It's founded on, okay, how can I have long-term success? I just don't want to get a quick win. let's make long-term success and everybody wins. And that's another thing, isn't it? Chinese business really does focus a lot on everybody winning. We've dived into business in a few different areas here in China. And not knowing all the etiquette and the procedures and everything early on, we've had to really ask and learn. And we asked a lot of friends and colleagues about what you do for business and why do you do this in business and why do we have to go to karaoke
and why do they keep giving us all these dinners for free? What are they expecting?
Yeah.
And it comes down to what they refer to as Guanxi. And Guanxi it's not about making a quick deal, it's about building a relationship.
Yeah.
It's like, what can we both gain from this experience?
Yeah.
We still are in contact with people that we started businesses with, like
right.
back in 2012. And that's amazing. I mean, we've stopped doing their business, but they still
it's a relationship,
consider us
right?
as having a business relationship.
When you think about it, if you've got a really good relationship, you're going to look at things differently. If they're your friends, you're going to look at it differently, and you're going to think of solutions. You're going to think of making money differently.
Absolutely.
The relationship point is really important. People want to know that they can rely on you on the long run. It is a long-term relationship. There's also a strong focus on saving face, which means avoiding anything that might embarrass somebody or harm their reputation in public. So the same focus that you have to being in public about focusing on your family being represented positively, you do for business as well. And because of this, people often communicate indirectly to keep things harmonious. So you have to pay attention to subtle hints rather than expecting straight answers.
Yeah, that was something we had to
That
really
was
learn.
a big one. We were expecting straight answers. Hey, tell me. And like they won't say no. They can't do it.
Yes.
Because there's always the potential for a solution or there's always potential for an answer. And one of the things that we experienced was if this person didn't know, they'd go and ask that person or they'd ask somebody who might know, and then eventually you'd get the answer back. And we're sitting there going, well, or can you do it or can you not do it?
The other thing that there's always room for negotiation.
We've discovered that totally, haven't we? A contract is never final. It's always up for negotiation, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Apart from when it's legally made final.
Yeah, I mean, there's other unwritten rules, including respecting seniority and titles and being patient and understanding. I mean, that's something that we really had to learn because we wanted something done ASAP.
Patience and understanding is what we had to learn, definitely.
Yeah, and we had to understand that business and personal life, they really do mix. Getting invited to dinner, as Dwayne mentioned, karaoke, it isn't just a crucial part of building a business relationship. If you ignore these social steps, you'll often struggle to succeed, we've found in this country. You have to build that relationship that you have like a personal and business relationship.
Well, it's mixed. They're not separate, are they?
No. And I think they actually want to see you in a personal sense. Your mindset, how you relate to people. You really do need to relax and be personal and become interested in them also, not only about the business.
You are having a relationship with them, a business relationship, but it is a personal one and it's a relationship with their family.
So there's some of the points that we've found that make China different, and I think that's why they're striving. I personally think that's why they're striving.
We've highlighted these points in order for you to be able to understand what happens in China a bit more and how China relates to the world, because there seems to be a lot of misconception about that and misunderstanding. But these things that we brought up today hopefully will help you to understand them a little bit more and how they relate and where they're coming from. Because all we've found since we've been here is that it's been so positive and supportive and friendly.
Yeah, if you're thinking about doing business in China, those last tips about business in China,
it's eye-opening, but it's really
will
good.
Really help you. But it's very interesting. So it's something that you really should try once in your life. I believe.
You can have some fun conducting business.
Try Canton Fair. That's a laugh and a half. It's fun.
Yeah.
So, what's the next area that makes China different that we've noticed?
I'd say health. Not just being healthy, but the focus on health. It was only a short period of time after we were here that we realized that it was such a significant element of the whole culture of living here in China was health. Everybody seemed focused on it. We'd ask about a food or a drink or something like that, and they'd say, this is why it's healthy, this is why it's good. Also, somebody told me, way back when, a Chinese person, if you don't have health, you don't have anything else. If you don't have good health, you don't have a successful business. If you don't have good health, you can't help your family move forward. If you don't have good health, you won't find the studying easy. Essentially, they were saying if you don't have good health, you don't have anything else. You can't build anything on top of that.
So steeped in their history and their culture, I mean, I remember one of our teaching jobs, we had to do a performance that night for the parents, and we were only relatively new to the school as managers. And I lost my voice the day before. And I remember they go, don't worry, Di, it'll be okay. It's like, really, I can't sing, I can't get my words out. And so they said, okay. They came back about half an hour later and they had these bags of different stuff that they'd gone and bought at the supermarket. And one was like, looked like a dried pear, and something else. It was like 3 different things that I had to boil and then drink. And it was amazing. It actually worked. The next day they said, see teacher Di, we told you. I was like, from that point on, I was like, okay, I've got this happening, or
You're
I've got
a
that
believer.
happening. What do I need to do? So,
Yeah. On the one hand, it seems like they've had so many thousands of years to perfect medicine. And traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, is amazingly popular here, as you can imagine. But they've got remedies for everything. I mean, don't drink cold water. Always drink warm water when you're just drinking water. You know, of course, you can have cold milk teas and ice drinks, and everybody does. Essentially, if you're just taking care of your health and maintaining good health, you drink warm water. You know, the little kids will have little cloths at the top of their back to absorb sweat and moisture, keep that part warm or protected.
Yeah, I mean, there's part of their cultural history that said that this part in the back of their neck, if that gets exposed to cold, it's where bad energy gets in.
Yeah.
You know, you'll often see people in public transport put like a cape around them, even though it's like 36
Shawl or
degrees
something,
outside. And it's sweltering and everyone's sweating. In the trains, it's air conditioned and they feel the cold, so they put it around them. And it's quite interesting.
So there's so many areas, and we've discovered over our time here, there's so many areas that are just related to health. We'll just get a mung bean drink from Jenny up the road. We'll show you some footage of her. She sells a mung bean drink, and the way that she prepares it is, I prepare the mung beans in this way to make sure they're maintained fresh and the goodness is maintained. But then when she sells it to you, she tells you the benefits, the health benefits, and why it's good on a hot day. It keeps your body cool. It affects your qi or your energy in a particular way.
And it helps your skin. So if you have any spots or acne,
That's right.
And it clears your throat, which was actually really interesting, because she said, I'll only be doing mung bean juice for the next couple of months until the weather changes.
Till the end of September, and then no more.
Yeah, so it's really quite interesting when you look into it. I mean, even so much as, you know, I grew up eating salads all the time, like believing salads were good for me, where in actual fact, when I've spoken to Chinese medicine or even Chinese people, friends, they're like, no, you should eat warm vegetables and warm soups and things like that, opposed to a salad, because it's cold food in your system. And it doesn't digest as quickly, apparently.
Yeah.
So I found that quite interesting.
You can only skim the surface of Chinese medicine, can't you?
True.
There's so many ways that it is helpful to you.
So we did ask Kelly again.
Yeah.
We asked
all
a
of the
range
friends. Yeah.
And she seemed to come up with something that was very relatable to share with you guys. So we're just going to read what she said.
If you don't mind, we'll read that again. Yeah.
And I mean, basically, she always starts with what Dwayne had mentioned, that if you don't have health, you don't have anything. You know, you can't support your family, you can't live a happy life. So health is of
paramount. Health is the foundation, right?
Paramount importance. So we'll go along and read what she's mentioned.
It's totally fair to say that health is a huge deal in Chinese culture. You can see it in how people live every day. This focus isn't new. It comes from ancient beliefs like Taoism, which stresses the importance of living a balanced life to stay healthy longer. That's why you'll see so many people doing things like Tai Chi in the park, eating certain foods to stay well, and being really proactive about seeing doctors, which I thought was really strange. I thought, man, what's wrong with these guys? They don't mind seeing the doctor. They love seeing the doctor. And I thought, wow, what's going on there? But really, it's to get advice. It's to get the right advice for that ailment, because it's so complex. Your health situation is so complex. So you want to get the right advice, to eat the right soup, to drink the right drinks, to follow the right instructions in order just to look after yourself, because health is so important. So you really have to look after yourself. And people do. You see it in the activities that they do. I mean, come on. Look at Chinese people. They're so fit.
They are. The older people are so fit.
The older people are unbelievable. I'm sure you've seen those videos of older people doing push-ups in the park.
And just dancing, like not just kind of like, you know, the aunties on the corner. These guys are full on dancing, like classical kind dancing and things like that. And singing and playing.
And for ages and ages, I'm going, oh my God, this is a dance marathon. I don't think I could keep up with that. It's a bunch of old ladies doing a dance, I think, wow, they're so much fitter than me.
So Kelly went on to say there's other important things, obviously, like family and education. They're all super important. Then she said, there's a famous saying, your body is the capital of your revolution. Basically, it means that if you don't have health, you don't have anything, as Dwayne mentioned. So staying healthy isn't just a personal goal. It's seen as the essential first step in achieving everything else in life, which is so true.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
it is a foundation of the whole culture, and it's definitely one of the ways which China leads, isn't it? It's definitely one of the ways that makes China different. Like Western medicine is amazing, but Chinese medicine works in time. It works with your body.
It's more of an individualized program. Like when you see a Chinese medicine practitioner, they do the pulses on your arm.
Yeah.
And
lots of diagnosis.
And different types of guasha, the cups, and also the scraping and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very, very interesting art, something that I've really taken a shine to, and I'm actually using it for my own personal health travel.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Well, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope it's been informative for you.
And I just want to take this a quick second now to thank everybody so much for the fantastic response we had to our apartment. We're getting close to around 60,000 views, and we're up around 1,700 subscribers. We're absolutely thrilled with this outcome, and we really sincerely thank each and every one of you, and we'll try and comment as much as we can. But like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll try to get back to each and every one of you. So thanks once again for watching.
See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.